the 13th pick, the Los Angeles Chargers select.
We are getting closer to the 2021 NFL Draft, and what does that mean? Mock draft season, it's officially upon us. So joining me is Matt Miller, who's going to be with me all month long, mocking different scenarios for the Los Angeles Chargers. They're sitting at the 13th overall pick, but just to kind of start, we're talking first round today. Run us through your top 9. I know things got a little interesting with Carolina trading for Sam Darnold.
They did get interesting, but at the top, nothing changes. The Jacksonville Jaguars still going to select Trevor Lawrence first overall. The New York Jets on the clock at number 2, still have them going with Zach Wilson, so no big movement there. The San Francisco 49ers recently traded up to 3. I have them selecting Alabama quarterback Mac Jones. It feels like there's a little wiggle room there to where maybe that could be one of the other quarterbacks, but it will certainly be a passer at 3. At number 4, I have the Atlanta Falcons selecting a quarterback, Trey Lance from North Dakota State. I think an interesting point here would be if Atlanta moves that pick, if we see someone come up to get the 4th quarterback. At 5, the Cincinnati Bengals, I have them selecting wide receiver Jamar Chase to pair him back with his college quarterback, Joe Burrow. The Miami Dolphins are at pick 6 after a couple of trades, and I have them going with tight end Kyle Pitts from Florida. The Detroit Lions are on the clock after that at 7. I have them going wide receiver Devontae Smith from Alabama. The Carolina Panthers, as you mentioned, they have Sam Darnold, so they don't need a quarterback here. I have them going Penei Sewell, the offensive tackle from Oregon, who I know a lot of Charger fans had their heart set on. And then at 9, the Denver Broncos. This is where the 5th quarterback comes off the board. I have Justin Fields from Ohio State going to the Broncos.
So let's hash this out a little bit. 5 quarterbacks in that top 9. We saw 3 go last year. The Chargers, obviously one of them, taking Justin Herbert at 6th overall. What kind of trickle-down effect does that have in terms of how you make this mock and maybe the talent that's there for the Chargers at 13?
This is great news for the Chargers that this many quarterbacks are going to go in the top 10. 5 quarterbacks is just pushing 4 to 5 other talented players down the board. And the same for the pass catchers, to have 2 wide receivers and 1 tight end or offensive weapon go off the board. And that's 8 position players that are coming off the board that are just pushing those offensive tackles, cornerbacks, edge rushers, some of the needs of the Chargers. So it sets up beautifully this year to where you would say like a player who might be available to them at 13, it could legitimately be a player who on big boards is a top 5 position player. So that is a really good year for the Chargers in that we're going to see teams reach for quarterbacks. We're going to see teams draft those pass catchers, and it's just pushing really good players down to 13.
When you look at this top 9, where does it really get kind of interesting for you?
I think Atlanta at 4 is the most interesting spot. You could call it a pivot point in this draft because what they decide to do will have big ramifications for what happens immediately thereafter. If Atlanta takes a quarterback, then we feel pretty comfortable that Cincinnati will take either Penei Sewell at offensive tackle or one of the pass catchers. Same with the Miami Dolphins at 6. If the Falcons take a quarterback, feel pretty good they'll go with a pass catcher. So it really sets things up where after what Atlanta does, we'll be able to figure out the picks that happen right after that. But also if Atlanta trades that pick to a team like Denver going up to get a quarterback, the New England Patriots going up to get a quarterback, then that could certainly change things as well.
Never a dull moment. It is so interesting.
Yep.
Let's keep it rolling though. Let's go to number 10, Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, the Dallas Cowboys, they could go a lot of different directions, but I have them going cornerback Patrick Surtain, the 2nd from Alabama. 11, the New York Giants, wide receiver Jalen Waddle from Alabama. And at 12, the Philadelphia Eagles going with corner J.C. Horn from South Carolina. Some positions that the Chargers definitely have a need at. The corner position coming off the board here, but again, it sets up beautifully. I think the one to watch here, though, Haley, is Dallas at 10 because they could go linebacker. They could go a lot of different directions. Corner, they could go offensive tackle with Tyron Smith and Lyle Collins missing a lot of time in 2020 due to injury. So the Cowboys are that kind of pivot point in this second group of picks to see what they're going to do. Or do they get crazy and trade up for a Kyle Pitts? So Dallas is really an intriguing team to watch.
And as we know, they do not need a quarterback given what happened with Dak Prescott. So yeah, like you said, a lot of other positions. Very intriguing. All right, though, here we go. The Chargers on the clock at number 13. Who did you mock to them?
Rashawn Slater, the offensive tackle from Northwestern. And it really sets up beautifully with teams right ahead of you in Philadelphia, Dallas, New York Giants, having a lot of similar needs. The fact that Rashawn Slater is still available at this spot is tremendous. He is a top 10 player in this draft class. I know some people even have him as the top offensive tackle in this group. So he is a plug-and-play starter. He opted out of the 2020 season, but if you go back to 2019, everyone's probably heard it before, but he's the only guy that was slowing down Chase Young when he was at Ohio State. So he can play left tackle. He's had experience at right tackle. Some teams do view him as a guard, but I think he has the quickness, the hand usage, and definitely the poise to really be solid at left tackle in the NFL.
In your eyes, what would make him a good fit for this Chargers offensive line?
Yeah, I think that ability to cut off the backside, to the quickness with which he gets out of his stance and can take on speed rushers. And in the AFC West, you have to deal with a lot of speed. Frank Clark, Max Crosby, you have to deal with Von Miller, Bradley Chubb. It's a lot of really good pass rushers that you want to keep off of Justin Herbert. So what he showed in the Big Ten, dealing with Chase Young, the great pass rushers at Penn State that they had during his time at Northwestern, he has shown in those best versus best type games that he can really shut down that outside speed rush. So he's got to get maybe a little bit stronger in the run game, but what he brings as a pass protector, I think does make him a great fit for what they want to do up front. Some athleticism when you move the pocket. He's really a great fit for the scheme.
All right, well, Matt, thank you so much for that. Rashawn Slater, mock to the Bolts. Matt, thank you again. Chargers fans, stick with us all April long. We got a lot of different scenarios coming, including a 7-round mock for the Bolts.